Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I will talk about that how this conditional bean basically work with Spring Boot. When we are going to building any Spring Boot application, then sometimes may we want to load the beans or maybe some classes or maybe like another means basically in a Spring all the things are concept as a bean, right? So sometimes we want to loads only certain beans based on certain conditions, right? So like it basically disable the beans during the test or maybe certain property in the runtime means if we need that certain beans are not required while we are doing the testing or maybe certain bean we required if we set some certain property into our application.properties file. So for enabling the loading those bean conditionally, Spring introduces at the rate conditional annotations that allow us to define custom condition to allow to parts of our application context. Spring Boot builds on top of that provides some predefined conditions also, so we don't need to have implement them ourselves. Like Spring have already some inbuilt conditional annotation that we can use in our application, so we don't need to create our conditional annotation. Even also we can create our own custom conditional annotation and we can use into our existing project. So here in this tutorial we will have a look some use cases that when we are going to use those conditional annotation and how we are going to use those custom annotation, how we are going to create those custom annotation and how we are going to use those things. Okay, so before going to the detail of it, like let's talked about some that what I'm basically trying to cover. Before that also, let's understand that why do we need these conditional beans. So the most common case that basically we don't we are going to use this conditional annotation. Let's take one scenario that maybe if we are want to use some kind of database connection while we are doing some kind of testing or test env, then we require some connection to remote system or application server that is not available during the test basically. So we want to exclude or replace those beans during the test. So those things we can easily achieve by these conditional annotations. Okay, also like if we want to like enable some kind of or maybe if we want to switch some kind of cross-cutting securities in a test env, that also we can achieve using this. If maybe during the test or maybe while based on certain environment or maybe we want to enabling the log or something, okay, based on certain resource file, external resource file, like if that particular resource is available, external resource is available, then only we are going to enabling this one. So that also we can achieve using this over here. So here like the thing is that going to cover that how we're going to declare in conditional beans. Second, like we will also explore that what Spring Boot already having the predefined conditional annotation, that how we are going to use those predefined annotation. Third one is how we are going to define our own custom conditions annotation and how we are going to use those annotation. So for that, I am going to create one Spring Boot application. Over there, I will just try to demonstrate all the things like how we are going to declare the condition annotation, what are those predefined condition annotations are available, how we are going to create our own custom condition annotation and how we are going to apply those condition annotation into any bin. Okay, so without further ado, let's create one Spring Boot project and demonstrate those conditional annotation. So here as you can see that I have already created one Spring Boot project that is conditional-annotation and I have imported in my Eclipse editor. So you guys can create like this Spring Boot project from Spring Initializer site. So it is very easy step. If you are not aware of it, like how you're going to create that Spring Boot project, I will already have some kind of tutorial in my channel. So I will provide that link in the description section. You guys can go through it, and still like if you are facing any issues, please let me know. So after importing in the Eclipse editor, so it will be that look like something this. So here just to going through the dependencies kind of thing. So I'm not going to use any dependencies over here except Spring Boot Web. Okay, so these dependencies only I have used. Java version I'm using the 17 and the Spring Boot version is 3.3.2. Okay, so this dependency basically I have used. So here as you can see I'm not write anything over here, so I'm going to just write all those things. So first of all, like we'll see that how we are going to declare these conditional beans. So whenever like we are going to defining any Spring Bean, we can optionally add these condition annotations. If this condition particularly, if it is like satisfied the condition, then only bean will be added into the application context. In Spring application, basically, whenever all the beans are registered in a application context, so we can see from the application context that particular bean is created or not. Now suppose if we have used some kind of conditional annotation, so if that particular condition will suffice, then only it will be loaded into the application context. So first of all we'll see that we'll create one configuration bin basically, and we can put some conditions over here, like any conditions. Okay, so that how we are going to defining those things, let's say like maybe we can define that condition on property. Okay, like if some property will be over there, then we can use some, let me add the code over here. For that, let me create one package first, new package. Like we are going to define this conditional property in some classes, so let me create one package for this one so that we can uh, condition on property. Okay, so here I'm going to create one class over here, new class, property configuration. Okay, so this particular class, we can annotate this particular class with @configuration. Then it will be like it will be actually added into the Spring Boot context actually. Okay, next we need to use this annotation, that conditional on property. Okay, so let me, it is taking some time for organizing the import. Let's see. Yeah, it's importing actually. Let it complete. Yeah, it's completed now. Okay, so we don't need this one. Okay, so next we are going to use this conditional. So here you can see conditional. So you can see lot of annotations over here, like condition on beans. So I will come one by one for this one. So for the time being I'm going to use this conditional on property. Okay, this one. And here we can defining the different types of property over here. Like first of all, this basically consists of three things. One is the value. Okay, and value will be like here it will be, we can defining the property. Okay, like is dot enable. Okay, next is like what value we are expecting for this one, having value. So we are expecting the value will be true. Okay, the third property that we are going to use over here, that matching if it is missing actually. That means if this particular values is not available in the properties file, then what value actually you are expecting over here. So let's say we are expecting true. So that means if we start this application, then it will basically create this bin in the application context. So how we are going to validate this one? So for validating this, we need to use some code over here. So for that, we can use the application context over here. Okay, okay, and then we need to implement basically command line implements command line runner. Okay, and this one basically we need to implement one method. This is the run method we need to implement, and over here we can get all the beans from the application context, as you can see over here, and then we can sort those beans and we can print those beans using the sysout. Okay, So now if we run this application, then we can see this bin will be created or added in the application context. So let me run this application. So why it will be added? Because here, as you can see, this properties is basically not available, but we are expecting that will be true. Okay, so that's why it will be added in the application context. So here you can, in the console, basically we can see all the bins which are available in the application context, as you can see over here. So now this name we need to find, like this property configuration bin, as you can see over here, this is added, right? Because default it will be true. Now if we set it as a false, like if this property is not available, then we are expecting this will be false. So in this scenario it will be not added. Currently it added over here. Now if we again restart this application, then you can see that this particular bin will not be added into the application context. So in this way, basically that conditional on property annotation is working. Now if we check over here, as you can see that, let me also search from over here, you can see it's not found, right? But previously it was there. Okay, so in this way, basically based on this condition it will enable. So next we will try another actually property conditional on bin. Like these are also like this predefined actually annotations that actually Spring already have. Okay, these are the like predefined conditions, those already available. So there are lot of actually things like conditional on expression. If we are want to some kind of expression, a special language, SPL language, that's also you can achieve. Here I'm going to explain that how this conditional on bin basically worked. So for that I can create one package like condition on bin. Okay, so here related to that we can create like this like maybe if sometimes we might want to load a bin only if certain other bins is available into our application context, right? So let's say create one bin actually, let's say like class maybe dependent bin. Okay, dependent bin. Okay, so we can annotate this class as configurations so that it will be treated as a like a Spring Boot bin, else it will be not. Then we can create this, use this conditional on bin annotations over here. Okay, and let me add this one, import this one, conditional on bin, this one. Okay, and here we can create some like bin. Okay, maybe like dependent bin. Okay, or maybe like super bin. So this particular bin actually dependent on this one. So as it is not created, so I need to create this class. Okay, let me create this one. Okay, it is created. Now basically this bin will be loaded only if this bin is over there. So let me run this application so that we can understand it better, and it will be printed over here like this bin will be created if this particular bin is over there. Okay, so let it be run, then let me search it. So we are expecting this will be not, because this is not a bin. So for make it as a bin we need to like let me add this as a configuration so that it will be add into the like configurable, not configuration. Okay, so it will be basically added, else it will be not. So let me stop this and again we can rerun it so that we can check that like this particular bin is created or not. Okay, dependent bin. You can see that dependent bin is now over here. Previously it was not over there, so I have added this configuration annotation so that it will be make it as a configuration, means it will be added into the treated as a bin, Spring bin. Okay, previously I have not added configuration, so it was not like added as like configuration, so that's why it was not added, but now it is added over here, right? Means we are able to condition on bin. Now let's say there is another like vice versa of this actually, like conditional on missing bin. Like suppose if we try to add some conditions, like if this particular bin is not available, then we can add this one. Okay, so in this way, uh, I can create another bin actually dependent on missing bin. Basically we can on missing bin. Okay, so if the particular bin is missing, then only it will be like missing bin. Okay, so if this bin is not over there, let me create this class. Okay, so this missing bin is created, so it is not a like bin, right? It is not a spring bin, it is not added into the spring boot context. So now this bin should be created over here. Okay, let me stop this and again rerun it. It should be over here, correct? On missing bin, on missing bin. It's not over here. Okay, the annotation should be changed. Conditional instead of this, conditional on missing bin, right? Conditional on missing bin, this one. Okay, so this bin should be used over here. So let me rerun this. Missing bin. Now we can search it. You can see this bin is got created over here, right? On missing bin. Previously it was not over here. You can search from over here also, so you can get this. Previously it was not there. So in this way basically, this conditional on bin and conditional on missing bin basically worked. So there are other annotations also like conditional on resource. So how it is worked? Like for example, sometimes if we want to add the like logback module, okay, logback over here for logging the details. So for that sometimes we can use the like logback properties. Okay, but let's say like if that logback property only available, then only this particular logback related module will work, right? So let me create one package for this one, dot conditional resource. Okay, so that means if that particular resource is available, then only we can add this one. Okay, so let me import this all these things. Okay, so here you can see that if this logback module resource is available, then only it will available. Okay, it will be added into the application context, but certainly I don't have any logback module over here, so that's why it should not be added into this bin. Okay, so let me, if we run this application, then we will not see over this over. But like if we add this logback module into our resource folder, then it will be add this logback module into the application context. Okay, if we search, so we will not get this bin over here. Other like annotation like condition on class. Okay, so this condition on class basically if we are having some class. Okay, so let me add some properties over here, this conditional on class. Okay, so if certain class is available, based on that we can see, means we can means instead of that actually basically if we see that we can defining the class name over here. Okay, so if that particular class is available, then also we can, like let me add this one, dot bin dot on missing bin. Let me add this class. So if suppose this class is available, then only it will be add this module, else it will be not. Similarly, this reverse of this one, conditional on missing class. Okay, so let me add this. If I add, need to add any class, right? Conditional on missing class. Okay, conditional on missing class, or let me add any class which is basically, and here it will be a value actually, not name, value. Okay, and here I can like defining any missing class, for example, missing class. Okay, now if I run this application, so this bin actually created if this particular class is not over there. Condition on missing class. If this particular is missing, then only this module or this bin will be added into the Spring application context. Okay, so if we see over here, logback module, this you can see that logback module is added over here. So in this way, basically these are the over here means we can use this conditional on missing class. So there are also like other things like on Java version we can use let me create something Java beans actually conditional on Java version. Okay, so based on certain Java version, let me add one class on Java module. Okay, so here basically I can add this configuration annotation, and we can use this conditional on Java. And here if we see this Java version, let's say 18, so that means if this Java version is 18, then only this module is loaded. Okay, so for example I am having this 17, so let me add this 17 module Java version over here, so then only this module will be loaded over here. So let me rerun this application. So this will be added because it will match with this Java version 17. Okay, so it will be added. Next we can also add some other, let me search it. You can see that Java module also added over here. Okay, next we can also add more actually configurations, like if this particular this one, let me add this one. Okay, like condition on not web application, like if it is not a web application, then only this module will be loaded. Okay, there are other also, like if it is a cloud platform. Okay, if it is a cloud platform, then only this bin will be loaded. But here it is not a cloud platform, so this bin will be not be added. But it is also, again, it's not a web application, right? So this is also not added over here. Next we will see some kind of custom conditional annotation. Okay, so we have looked some of the like predefined already Spring actually provide those annotation we have seen over here, like how we are going to reuse those already provided or Spring Boot inbuilt annotation that we can do over here. Let's see like how we are going to create our own custom condition over here. So for that, let me create one package over here, new package dot custom condition. Okay, so over here let me create one condition, let's say like public class, new class, like let's say maybe it's a unique based or maybe Windows based. So let's see like we can create any condition like it's a Windows or like kind of Unix like let's say Unix condition kind of class. Okay, so let me add this. Okay, so for this implementing the custom annotation here, we need to implement this condition annotation. So this is coming from this Spring, this one. Okay, once we have implement this one, then we need to implement this one. Okay, so then here we can use some kind of use the system utils. It's already having this one, and system utils coming from this, we need to add some like one annotation, one dependencies over here, common lang. Let me add this one, common lang 3 basically. So here basically we need to use this common lang 3 dependencies over here. Okay, so that we can use those system utils and all. So now you can see that system utils we can add from over there. Okay, so if it is a Linux OS, then it will return true, else it will be a false. Or maybe we can use some kind of Windows also over here. Okay, Next, so this is the annotation that we have that created the custom conditions over here. Now we can use these conditions in somewhere where we are going to use this one. So let me create some Unix bin where we can use this conditional bin. Okay, let me create one class over here, or maybe inside of some bin also we can add this one. Okay, let me copy some class over here. Let me rename it Unix OS. Okay, so here we can use this on Unix @conditional @conditional, and here we are going to use this one. Okay, like this, on Unix dot class. Okay, let me delete this one. Okay, so this particular will be loaded only if it is a Unix. Okay, else it will be not loaded. So here it is a Windows system, so here it will be not loaded. So in this way basically we can create our own custom condition over here. Even if we want to combine the multiple condition into a single condition with the either logical or, then we can use the any nested condition. So how we are going to achieve this one? Let me add one class over here so that it will be easy to understand. Okay, so here you can see that, okay, I need to create this annotation also, Windows 1. Okay, similar kind of this Unix, we need to create another condition which will be let me copy this one here. Okay, on Windows condition. Okay, so here instead of this it will be a is Windows. Okay, this one. So if it is a Windows, then only it will return this one. Okay, so now here we can use this either this Windows, like any nested condition, like any of this. Okay, like either Windows, if it is Windows or Linux, in both cases it will be return true. So we can combine the multiple conditions in this condition over here. Okay, similar kind of this, if we need both two condition true actually, then in case of the any nested condition we need all nested condition. Here you can see that here it will return basically all nested condition, this one. Okay, so then we need to use this all nested condition over here. If we need that, if this both condition will be true, then only it will allow to register that particular bin. So in this scenario it will be used. Okay, so we can see that how we are going to use this one. So let me means we can create anything over here. Let me create one class on Unix condition. This is fine, Unix OS. Let me create something another annotations, another class basically. Let me see that, let me copy this Windows. Instead of this, let me create, it's a Windows OS. Okay, Windows OS, and here instead of this on Unix one, instead of this we can use this one on Windows or Unix condition. So this is basically load only when either any of this is true, right? So this will be, it will be true because this is a Windows. So let me run this application. So it will register. You can see that Windows OS is registered as in the application context. So here you can see the details of this bin because we have used this one, and any of this is basically suffice. Now instead of this, if we need that only both two condition will suffice, so instead of the any nested condition we can use other condition uh, what I said, that this one, so that it will be true for all nested condition. Okay. So in this way we can create our own custom conditions and also apply those conditions into our bin over here. Okay. So this is the like overall things that how we are going to use this conditional annotation, and also possibility to create the custom conditional annotation. Spring already give us lot of power to control the content of our application context, right? Spring Boot builds on the top of that, bringing some environmental or convenient way to like conditional non-annotation to the table and allow us to combine conditions using this all nested conditions or any nested condition, non-nested condition. So those are kind of things over there. So using those we can easily used into our applications. So this is about all for this how we are going to use these conditional annotations. I will put this code into the GitHub section. From there you guys can pull the code and use into your applications whenever need. If you guys have anything, please do let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Please press the bell icon for further notification. Thanks for your time. See you in my next videos. Bye bye.